What happened to your partner?
I don't care.
Okay. Well, I don't either. I'm just glad to see you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Glenn. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Sports Center with Jay and Dan, brought to you by our friends at McDonald's. When the Daytona 500 was postponed on Sunday because of inclement weather, we knew that there would be a good finish on Monday, but we didn't expect that one driver's life would be in serious danger.
Yeah, this is what everyone's talking about. Monday's finish at the Daytona 500 when a horrible crash occurred during the race's final lap.
Very creative. Ryan Newman off turn 4 for the final time. Blaney to the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside.
Wow.
Crash into the wall, into the air goes Newman.
Upside down.
In a shower of sparks on his roof, Ryan Newman comes across the line.
Just horrific.
Fourth.
Leader Ryan Newman pushed from behind by Ryan Blaney, careening into the outer wall and flipping before getting hit hard on the driver's side by Corey LaJoie. Emergency crews responded immediately.
As far as who crossed the finish line
He was rushed to hospital. Danny Hamlin, he won the Daytona 500 by 1/100th of a second. He's won it back-to-back times now. As soon as he heard the news that they were struggling to get Ryan Newman out of the car, he stopped celebrations. NASCAR Executive Vice President Steve O'Donnell finally provided an update 2 hours after the race.
down on his roof.
Ryan Newman is being treated at Halifax Medical Center. He's in serious condition, but doctors have indicated his injuries are non-life-threatening. We appreciate your thoughts and prayers and ask that you respect the privacy of Ryan and his family during this time. We appreciate your patience and cooperation, and will provide more information as it becomes available.
I hope he's all right. It looked pretty bad, so definitely was trying to push him to a win, and I don't want to say those things happen. I feel really bad about it. It's just man, but a close one. But I hope Ryan's all right.
It just it's a weird balance of excitement and happiness for yourself, but obviously someone's health and their families bigger than any win in any sport. So we're just hoping for the best.
Corey LaJoie, who hit Newman on the driver's side during the wreck, tweeted out, "Dang, I hope Newman's okay. That is worst case scenario, and I had nowhere to go but smoke." Two-time Daytona winner Dale Earnhardt Jr. responded by saying nothing you could do there. Earnhardt Jr., the son of the late Dale Earnhardt Sr., who lost his life in a crash at Daytona in 2001. ESPN's Marty Smith has more.
His reputation in the sport among Cup Series drivers and his peers is that he's the hardest driver to pass because he will not relent. And that's been the way that he's raced since he came into the series in the early 2000s and has had a decorated career. I mean, he won the Daytona 500 in 2008, won the Brickyard 400 in 2013. Those are the two most prestigious races in all of NASCAR. And he's been around a long time. And like I say, he's just an extremely fierce competitor who's not especially, he's one of those guys that's concerned about going out there and performing and getting the best finishes and victories for his team. He's not really concerned about being your friend. He's concerned about kicking your tail.
It's a good news, bad news situation lately for the Flames. Yes, they've been struggling at home, including an 8-4 loss to the Blackhawks on Saturday, but at least their #1 trade target has not been dealt to a division rival. Sorry, Flames fans. More on that Toffoli trade a little bit later. Canucks got him. Calgary's lost 5 in a row at home. Cam Talbot net for the Flames. Sam Bennett turns it over. It's friend of Sports Center with Jay and Dan, Adam Henrique. 21st of the season. 1-0 for the Ducks. Less than a minute later, Matthew Tkachuk's going to send it out front. Noah Hannafin is stopped, but it's the bread boy, Andrew Mangiapane, who scores to tie it. Kachuk extending his point streak to 7 games on the play. Later, another turnover would lead to a scoring opportunity for Jakob Silfverberg, and he will beat Talbot, and the Ducks will retake the lead. Hannafin this time mishandling the puck at his own end. Silfverberg takes advantage. Visitors on the board. Now 3-1 in the third. Michael Backlund forcing the turnover. Mangiapane roofs the backhand. Second of the game, Ducks lead down to 1. Then, just 19 seconds later, how beautiful are these Calgary uniforms? Broadcaster, the Ducks broadcaster, giving a shout out to Bar Down, our website, that is, of course, run by Gino Reda out of his offices here in Scarborough. Under 10 to play. Mangiapane's forecheck forces a turnover. Kachuk gets it in. Matthew Kachuk, 20th goal, 50th point, 4-3 Flames. Moments later, Hampus Lindholm for the turnover. And Sean Monahan's got his 18th. Calgary's got a 2-goal lead. Everybody excited on Family Day. Final minute. Mangiapane creating another turnover. Johnny Hockey finds him. And Mangiapane's got his first career hat trick, and the Flames snap a 5-game home losing streak. Huge victory for them. 5 unanswered goals in the third. Mangiapane on his hat trick goal.
I was a little nervous. Empty cage is a little nervous if you miss that. So I was skating, and it was a good pass by him, and, I got to thank him for that.
Oh, I mentioned it earlier, the big news from Monday. Tyler Toffoli has been traded to Vancouver. 18 goals, 16 assists, 58 games this year, 27 years old, ranked number 6 on TSN's trade bait board, a UFA at the end of the season. Going the other way, LA gets Tim Schaller. Basically, they pick up his contract to make the money work. They get Tyler Madden, a prospect, and a 2020 second-rounder. Canucks GM Jim Benning announced Brock Besser out with a rib cartilage fracture. He'll be reevaluated in 3 weeks, hence the speed of this deal.
Returning to the scene of the crime never seems like a good idea, but maybe for Alex Ovechkin it would work. Ovi and the Caps into Vegas Monday night, the same place they won the Stanley Cup 2 years ago, starting a party that lasted approximately 4 months. No cup to pick up on this visit, but Ovi's still in search of entry to the 700 club, stuck on 698 goals, as he has been held pointless for 4 straight games for the first time since 2017. Scored 24 goals against Marc-Andre Fleury, tied for his most against any goalie. First period, loose puck in front. Ovi! No. Hasn't gone goalless in 5 straight since December 2018. That was his lone chance of the period. He did have a big hit on former teammate Nate Schmidt. Schmidt played parts of 4 seasons with the Caps before he was taken by Vegas in the expansion draft. He just helped him to the bench. Knights up 2-0 after what? Was this a matinee affair, this game?
Early evening.
Early evening in the third. TJ Oshie. Watch this shot. Here it comes. Yowzers! Washington and NHLS 21-7-1 on the road this season. Under 2 minutes later, Caps power play. They're down 3-1. Oshie, second of the game. 29th 2-goal game of his career. Caps are within 1. Dying seconds. Caps net empty. Guess who's in goal, though? Ovi, big stop. Ovi, big stop. Oh, I hit the post. Other end, John Carlson. Fires. That's wide. Caps lose, and Ovi held pointless for a 5th straight game. The Knights 7-3-2 under Pete DeBoer.
Lightning announced Tampa Bay looking for a franchise record 11th straight win, and they're up 2-1 in the second period. This is not what you want if you're a fan of the Colorado Avalanche. Mikko Rantanen gets tripped up by Eric Chernak, goes into the boards hard, left with an upper body injury. In fact, Jared Bednar, the Avs head coach, said he will be out for weeks with an upper body injury. Already missed some time earlier in the season. Lightning captain Steve Stamkos playing career game number 800 later in the second. Scarves, 27th of the season, 3-1. Minutes after that, Nathan MacKinnon taking the pass from Gabriel Landeskog and snipes his 33rd. Is that a thing of beauty or what? He is a friend of SportsCenter with Jay and Dan. That cuts the Bolts lead to 1/3 period, tied at 3. MacKinnon will dump it in. Lay hit on Andre Palat. Palat bleeding as he left the ice. And the Lightning came after MacKinnon after that. There were a lot of big scrums in this one. It wasn't as intense as scrum lurkers, but it was an intense game. In overtime, McKinnon gives the puck away to Nikita Kucherov. And Nikita Kucherov, Hart Trophy winner, has the game winner. 29th of the season. Tampa wins their franchise record 11th game in a row.
Wowzers. Get this. The Preds have 4 games in hand on the Coyotes.
It's a weird situation.
Have they ever made a schedule before?
I like the idea of Get This being a show for you on Crave TV. Here we go. We'll tell you what happened. Florida won that game. All right? That's what you need to know. So the Panthers win means they're now just 2 points back of the Leafs for that third and final playoff spot from the Atlantic Division, which is big because they're, as you can see, 3 points out of that final wild card spot. The Isles, they've lost 3 straight in regulation, so their hold on a playoff spot, in particular on the third spot in the Metro, is, as described by our stats guy, Hound Dog, precarious. Coming up, getting a big surprise at practice. Yeah, that's Shea Weber. The latest out of Montreal. You're watching Jay and Dan on TSN, brought to you by McDonald's.
Oh, that's Jerry Maguire, not Harry. Sorry.
It's a timely reference.
What if that movie holds up?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Probably not.
Our buddy, what's his name?
Cuba Gooding Jr.?
No,
Tom Cruise.
Who played Tom Cruise's like rival? Tim? You know the blonde guy? He's a comedian.
Hall from Hall & Oates?
Jay Moore.
Oh,
Jay Moore. Remember?
Yep.
He was in that.
He was.
I was going to be a big star. Anyway, a week after a report came out that Shea Weber's career was in jeopardy, the Habs captain was back on the ice Monday practicing alongside his teammates. And he addressed the tweet that speculated about his hockey future.
This was the timeline. Weber got hurt. No one knew what the injury was for a few days.
Yep.
Then the Habs said he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Then someone said his career's over, and now he might play any day.
Yeah. And it wasn't just one report. There was a few reports that said this was going to be long-term, that this was going to be career-threatening. So this is very weird. And again, he's had such a history of injuries. You can understand why everyone was on edge. But, man, it's great to see him out there. That's fantastic.
Claude Julien spoke his mind, and it cost him. League's going to fine the Habs coach $10,000 for comments he made following the Habs' 4-3 overtime loss to the Stars Saturday night. He criticized the officiating postgame as the Habs didn't receive a power play during the game with several missed calls. He's known to butt heads with refs.
Yeah, there you go. The referees he was referring to, Dean Morton and Garrett Rank.
Morton, good Peterborough boy.
There you go.
They can't possibly drop 4 games to the league-dwelling Red Wings this season. The league-dwelling?
Yeah.
Cellar-dwelling.
The cellar-dwelling. I mean,
every team dwells in the league.
Every team dwells in the league. Every player does. Every coach.
You can see it on TSN2 in the Habs region. Tuesday.
The Winnipeg Jets practiced Monday after their 3-2 win over Chicago Sunday night. Nathan Beaulieu scored the game winner in the third for his first goal since November of 2018. It was Winnipeg's 3rd win in their last 5 at home, and they are now just 1 point back of a wild card spot. Oh, hey.
Nice
play that music. I mean, I like that one. That's
You can't just tease us.
Yeah, don't tease us. Okay, let me tell you this. Jets are in the home stretch. Just 9 of their last 22 games will be at home this season. But that's okay because they haven't been great at home. 15 of their 32 games this season at Bell MTS Place, only 15 of the 32 have been wins.
Right now, we're like morning radio show hosts. They never talk with dead air. There's always music playing in the background.
Yes, maybe that's how we should do the show. Maybe we should do all these chat blocks with the hockey theme in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, we paid an arm and a leg for it.
I still don't understand why the radio DJs do it. It's like, are people going to get bored if there's a half a second of silence?
They certainly hope that doesn't happen here.
No chance.
Kings and Jets, TSN 3. Alec Martinez will be playing. Jets fans are hoping he might be a Jet by the deadline.
The trade deadline, it's looming. We're less than a week away, and sometimes we forget how hard it can be on the players. On Monday, Sharks defenseman Brendan Dillon got emotional when asked if this was possibly his last game as a Shark.
I don't know. We'll kind of see what happens, but, for us, I like being here. Try to play hard every night. It's kind of out of my control. Excuse.
Very emotional time. So this is the trade bait board. There you see. Dylan's at number 5. You mentioned Alec Martinez. He's in at number 4. Chris Kreider. He's the prize pig at this point.
Well, and with the Toffoli deal, we've got some new guys moving into the top 10.
Dylan DeMello in at number 10.
How about Palmieri at 8?
On the TSN trade bait board. Franco Nai.
Here's that majestic music again. Can we crank this up a bit? Oh, that was very loud. May have scared someone at home.
Rod Smith on trumpet.
Hey, Blue Jay spring training. Kevin Biggio entering his 2nd season as a Blue Jay. Someone asked him about there's something called, what's it called again?
Kevin, you're a big sports fan. You've heard the term sophomore slump. You played your way out of slumps last year. What makes you quite sure that won't be an issue for you this year?
Yeah, have you heard of the Madden curse too? I don't think Pat Mahomes really cared too much about that. No, so I don't know. I don't really worry about those type of things.
Seeing the kids get better, as a player development guy, it was fun for me to see all these kids, and that's what you want as a player development guy, to see kids get better, and we did, man. We really did.
Yeah, I love that guy.
He just puts a smile on my face.
Cruising with Charlie.
Yeah, I'd love to hang out with him. Tim, can we get him on the show?
He's on the phone. Not with Charlie. Tim's always on the phone during our show.
With somebody.
Recently reinstated Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett joined ESPN's Inside the Lines and spoke about what he claims Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph had said prior to his now infamous helmet swinging incident.
He called me the N-word. He called me a stupid N-word. I don't say the N-word, whether it's with A, ER. To me personally, just shouldn't be said.
Myles Garrett's helmet swinging altercation cost him $1.2 million in pay and $45,000 in fine.
Hey, we've officially reached the halfway point of February. That means winter, it's almost over. And our first performance reviews of the year just been filed.
Actually, producer Tim, he's been on the phone because he's been working on our performance reviews all day, and it turns out they have just arrived. And we thought it would be fun to read those performance reviews from producer Tim live on TV. We have not seen them. As you can see, these are in sealed envelopes. So if it's okay, I'd like to go first, Dan.
Yeah.
Because I always am excited to know how producer Tim views me. And here we go. It says, Dear Jay, it's been a little bit of a shaky start to the year. I've made a running tally of your infractions. I said, it said, 1, mistakenly calling the Flames the Flames.
Oh, okay.
I hope you get your act together. You're on thin ice. Producer Tim. Okay.
Okay. Where do I start? You're not on thin ice because you've crashed through it and sinking the water below. I've kept a running tally of the things you've done, and I'd still consider this list incomplete. Crank called me for a week as Dr. Butt. Put jelly in my shoes. Created a fake parking spot for me, then parked in it every day. Keep offering me chicken fingers, knowing full well they're fish sticks. Set my PVR to record every episode of Claws. Bees in glove box. Told me you Lysoled my keyboard for me, but I could tell it was spit. Replaced my Apple with a bunch of knives taped together. There's a lot here. Replaced Papa Shop balls with one single tire. Telling the staff at the restaurant it's my birthday every time.
That's a fun thing to do.
Writing the script for Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. Insisted you're a millennial. Changed my radio presets to static.
Oh, man. I can't believe you did all that to him.
seemed upset when I told you I didn't have a peanut allergy. We'll get to the rest of these later.
Oh, man. Maybe we should post all those online.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe we'll put them on the Jay and Dan Instagram account.
Keep calling James Duthie James Dort. Get Jenny's. Brent Burns. Oh no. Mike Hoffman steals.
Trying to get a step. Hoffman is in.
The Hoff.
Scores.
Hey, don't hassle the Hoff.
Hoffman on the
Beats Aaron Dell, heir to the Dell computer fortune.
Alexander Ovechkin finishing his check on former teammate Nate Schmidt, sending him into the Golden Knights bench.
Line change that he didn't want. Centering pass. Abs in. Stick save by Holtby.
NCAA St. John's Nick Rutherford comes up with the steal. And the slam. And oh! Almost face planted. Saved himself though at the end.
Oh! Dying seconds between North Carolina and Notre Dame. Nate Laszewski. Game-winning three. The Irish close the game on a 25-10 run.
Gabriel Landeskog drops the puck to Nate McKinnon into the slot. Oh, King Supers.
Man, that was nice.
Is King Supers a grocery store?
And the bread boy. Producer Tim said, none of us live in Denver. That's a good point by producer Tim. Andrew Mangiapane. He had a hat trick. Big, big victory for Calgary at home on Family Day.
What's that? Oh, sorry. What is it?
Guess what? When we come back, what's happening?
It's a supermarket, King Supers.
There you go. So if you're ever in Denver, you know where to get it. TSN Hockey Insider Bob McKenzie is our special guest this week on the Jay and Dan podcast, brought to you by McDonald's. And on the podcast, Bob spoke about Vancouver's recent acquisition of Tyler Toffoli.
They've got an owner in Francesco Aquilini whose patience for a rebuild is what I would generously describe as severely limited.
Just ask Trevor Linden, right?
Well, exactly. And I think in Vancouver, you know, they're on an accelerated rebuild, and when they were able to get Besser, Pettersson, and Hughes, the three cornerstone pieces of the rebuild, they're trying to move this along, and obviously the JT Miller trade.
Highlight of the night, NCAA hockey, Michigan Strauss man.
His own man in front, Landon.
Dives, oh boy. Paddle save. On the Noddler, Josh Noddler.
He's never nodding off.
No. That's your highlight of the night.
Strauss? Strauss is his name? First name?
Yeah.
Okay. This is our popular You Blew It segment where we point out all our errors, but according to Andrew Zwarich, who usually compiles the list of our errors, we didn't mess up anything. As you can see, Dan, it appears producer Tim disagrees. This is your performance evaluation. It is rather lengthy in all its mistakes.
Yeah, he says, I keep insisting TSN stands for Tim Stinks Nasty. Changed my online banking password to empty. This one's good. Egged a house you thought was mine. When I told you it wasn't my house, you went and took out a mortgage on it in my name, then said, F you, I egged your house. Yeah.
There's more.
There are a lot more.
We're going to post, we're going to get Danny, our social media guy, to post this on the Jay and Dan Instagram account.
Got me rated 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. That was easy.
Yeah, that was easy. Thanks for watching, everyone. Drive safely.